Today I'm going to be comparing this Colorsplash knife from D-Best versus this Gibson knife. Now, we've had both of these for about the same period of time, and as you can see, this Colorsplash from D-Best is not holding up near as well as this one from Gibson. We use both of these on a regular basis, so it's not like we've only used one and not the other. But as you can see on this Colorsplash, the handle on here has really been scraped up a lot, and that's just from use, and it's starting to wear out there. And it's also really fading and scratched throughout on the handle itself. And I believe that's just because of the type of plastic that this handle is made of. This one does have a good amount of scratches on the handle as well, but they're much harder to see just because of the plastic that is on them. Now, when looking at the blades themselves, the Gibson has actually started to gather some rust. So it has some rust right down in there and then on the top, whereas the Colorsplash has not gotten any rust on it. So from our experience, the Colorsplash from D-Best has a better knife itself, the metal part, in regards to it not starting to rust already, but the handle is not as good as the Gibson, whereas the handle on the Gibson is better, but then the actual knife blade itself has begun to rust. Both of these are comfortable to hold. The D-Best has a little of an indent here for your fingers when you are cutting, so that's a good option. Gibson does have a small one, but it's much more slight. Their handle is much less ergonomically designed, so just really straight across the top. A little bit of movement on the bottom, whereas the Colorsplash from D-Best has a good amount of movement to it. Now, the Gibson and the Colorsplash knives themselves, so the actual blades themselves, are virtually identical in regards to length and in regards to actual size of the blade. The handles are relatively similar as well, with the Colorsplash being slightly longer and also being thinner, as you can see. Now, both of these, when we purchased them, they weren't the sharpest knives in the world. We've purchased many other knives that came a lot sharper. So it's something to keep in mind. You probably will want to sharpen these pretty soon after you get them, just to make sure you have a nice sharp cutting edge. Overall, both of these are good options for just value kitchen knives.